Hi, I'm Madison and welcome back to my channel. Today I have some winter romance recommendations for you. So I'm really excited. I did a version of this for the fall and I decided I had to do it again for winter because there are some winter romance books that I really love and want to recommend you guys, but there's also a couple that I have on my TBR this season that I want to share with you as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start with the ones that for me are like on my TBR that I'm really excited to read, and so I want to share them with you as well so that they're on your radar. First one's going to be How the Grump Stole Christmas by Kingsley. Now, this just seems super fun. This just came out in November as well. It's a brand new Christmas small town romance, and I just had to put it on this list because I've seen a lot of great things about Kingsley. She's not an author that I have read from before, but everyone seems to adore her small town romances, and this seemed like the perfect place to start because it is not actually part of any of her other series. So you've got Isabel Cook, and her family runs the Cook family farm, which is in the middle of basically like a Christmas village. And the problem is that there is someone who's trying to run them out of town. There is a businessman that is trying to buy up all the real estate and basically get rid of Christmas Village. And this man is ɪନିର୍sᴛᴏᴅ. So Elias is actually up for a huge promotion at work, and one of the last things that his boss wants him to do is basically get the piece of land that the Cook family farm is on. The only problem is that not only does Elias just hate Christmas in general, but he is also Isabel's ex. And so it is him staying in town trying to like convince her to get rid of the family farm, her being like, you're not doing that, and getting under his skin again. And I guess it's gonna be kind of her melting his like icy cold heart kind of like a vibe. I don't know. I'm very excited. I feel like this is like, it's a typical kind of a plot that you do read, but you know, you kind of need that every once in a while, and I feel like this could be really fun. We then have something a little bit different, and that is going to be 3 Swedish Mountain Men by ḽᴏᴏᴏᴅ. So this is a why choose romance between one girl and 3 Swedish mountain men. So you have this girl and her life is like a complete mess because her ex-boyfriend has like kind of gone on like this online crusade to make her like the subject of online bullying. And so she's like, I need to escape this. I'm gonna escape this by traveling to Sweden and going on like a mountain retreat for myself to like deconnect from everything. The only problem is that when she's in Sweden on the road, a moose comes out of nowhere and she swerves and wrecks her car. And when she comes to, she is basically being saved by this mountain man. And so she ends up stuck in this secluded cabin with these 3 mountain men as there's a storm, and it's a why choose romance between all 4 of them. Very exciting. It is what it is. I think this would be a great time. Obviously it's set in like this cold Swedish snowy mountains, so like there's your winter vibes right there. And I don't know, I feel like I just had to put this on this list. I've read one of Lily's stuff before and they're very fun why choose romances, and so I want to put this one on here. Definitely can't wait to read this one this season. And yeah. Next, of course, I had to put an ice hockey romance onto this list. This is Consider Me by Becka Mack. So you have Carter Becka, and he is the NHL's resident bad boy, of course. And he is very much used to like getting what he wants, sleeping with who he wants, and like kind of just being like having like a string of women all the time. And obviously that is when he meets Olivia. Right off the bat, he tries to hit on her and she is like, I am having none of your shit. She's like, you can try and charm me as much as you want. She's like, I know who you are. I know how these things go, and I have absolutely no interest in, you know, reciprocating this. And he instantly is like, what? Like the fact this woman's denying me, and he like makes it his mission to be with her and get her to give him a chance. I've seen so many people talk about just actually how hilarious this book is, and it is an absolute hoot and a half, and so I cannot wait to read this. I have been looking for a new hockey romance to fall in love with, and I think that this has a lot of potential. Now we have Christmas on the 13th Floor by Jacquot. I love Lee so much. Her Holy Night novellas are my entire life. It is set on Christmas night. It takes place at the annual like company Christmas party, and it's about a girl getting with her boss, her very arrogant, grumpy, rude boss. Don't know too much else about her apart from that, but I've loved all of these that Lee has done so far, and I'm really excited to go back to the very beginning because I've read all the other ones that are in this series. They're not connected at all. They're just a series. They're just holiday themed. That's what connects them, but I cannot wait to see what this one is, and I just know that it is going to be super hot, super delicious. If you're looking for a kind of Christmas erotica book to read this season, this is going to be the one that you need to pick up. I then have to recommend Christmas in Quincy by Devney Pery. This is the prequel novella to her Eden series, but I actually read this time last year. It was actually one of my favorite Christmas books that I did read in 2021, so I had to recommend it for everyone here. You don't need to read this before reading her Eden series, but what's really fun is that it does introduce you to the town beforehand. This is a bodyguard romance novella following Cleo Hillcrest. She is kind of an heiress in a sense. She comes from a very rich family and her dad is very controlling over her and everything that she does, and what she ends up doing is she doesn't want to spend Christmas with her dad and her stepmom this year. She's like, screw it, I'm doing my own thing. So she ends up spending her money and booking a secret plane ticket to Quincy, Montana to stay at this hotel to just kind of decompress. And so she basically runs away and her dad ends up sending like her security team to go bring her back. And that is where we have Austin. He is the head of her security team. He's always kind of like had a crush on her, but could never act on it, and he goes to go take her back and they end up getting snowed in, and it is their romance. I love this so much. In my opinion, it is actually one of Devney's spiciest books as well. I've read a lot of Devney's other stuff and I felt like nothing has actually ever been as hot as this novella was, which was really surprising to me as well. So definitely recommended. I love the different vibes of this and it was just so much fun. And then we have Lovelight Farms by B.K. Borison. I feel like everyone knows about this book, but this came out in 2021 and it is a Christmas rom-com and I'm so excited to read it this season. So you're following Stella Bloom and her family owns Lovelight Farms, but Lovelight Farms is not doing well. All the Christmas trees are dead. They have raccoons that are like trying to take over. Shipments are going missing and she's like, I don't know how I'm gonna save the farm. And then she sees that there is an online influencer competition that she can enter. And so she ends up being like, I have to win this competition. So she ends up submitting Lovelight Farms for this competition to win. The only problem is that when she submits it, she says that she owns Lovelight Farms with her loving boyfriend, but she don't have no boyfriend. There's no boyfriend that exists. And so she ends up finding herself in a pickle and then has to find a emergency boyfriend so that she can win this competition to help save her farm. And that's where her very best friend, Luca, comes in. And he has to kind of pose as her fake boyfriend. They've been best friends for years and absolute cuteness. I'm so excited to read this. I've seen nothing but glowing reviews of it and I'm super pumped. And then very last but not least, I have something a little bit different, a little bit more darker, and that is *ɪᴛᴛᴏᴜ by Aleatha Roming. I read this initially as a prequel novella called White Ribbon, but White Ribbon has now been put right into *ɪᴛᴛᴏᴜ as like the first, like I think 10 chapters are the prequel novella. So if you read White Ribbon, do know that is included in *ɪᴛᴛᴜ. You have got Julia, and on her wedding day, she's finding out that I think her husband had an affair with her best friend who is now pregnant. And she was like, that's it, I'm leaving. So she dips, she jilts herself, and she's getting into her car with not many belongings and driving to like this random like snowy mountain town to start a new job. But on her way there, there's a blizzard, she gets snowed in, and when she wakes up, she has been rescued by this guy who's brought her back to his cabin. And she has this kind of like whirlwind one-night stand with this mysterious stranger, and they part ways the next morning, except for the fact that she gets to this job that she wants to take after being jilted, and when she gets to this reclusive millionaire's house for this position, she ends up finding out that reclusive millionaire is the mysterious guy that she had the one-night stand with, and he ends up actually propositioning her to enter into a marriage of convenience because it turns out that her ex-fiance is one of his competitors, and that Olivia actually comes from a very well-known family and he wants to use those connections as well to get revenge. And so she agrees because she also wants to get revenge on her ex-fiance, and it's their romance. So I'm very excited for this. I love the prequel novella. I loved reading about their one-night stand and this beginning of the marriage convenience, and I cannot wait to finish the actual book. That is my winter romance recommendations for you. If you have any extra ones, please let me know down in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit the like button down below. If you want to see more of me, please go to my channel. And don't forget to check me out over on TikTok and Instagram. And until next time, thanks so much everyone. Bye-bye.